What's good, y'all? Hope y'all having a blessed day, blessed morning, blessed evening, whenever, however, whatever you tuning in, and whenever, what, yeah, how you tuning in from? My intro is gone. What's good, y'all? Hope y'all day is going blessed. Hope y'all day is going good, right? Today, as the title says, we're gonna be talking about why you are, dang, bro, why I keep doing, why you are anxious, right? So, anxiety is something we all have, we all face. You wanna know why? Because it's hardwired into our body. Now, anxiety is a tool. Fear is a tool, right? It's not something that we are meant to feel like permanently, but it is something that we are meant to feel at one point in time, right? While we're on this earth, we are all going to feel fear. We are all going to feel anxiety, okay? Now, understand there's anxiety and there's fear. We got to separate the two. We got to tell the difference. And one, there's good anxiety, there's bad anxiety. There's good fear, there's bad fear. We got to be able to tell the difference between the two. So, what is anxiety? Anxiety is, or why, better question, why does anxiety exist, right? Anxiety exists to protect you from your future, to protect you from future circumstances and future outcomes. Anxiety exists to save you from potential hazards that may or may not happen. Okay? Anxiety is the fearful expectation of the future, right? Anxiousness, right? We know what it means. What is fear? Same thing. Fear and anxiety are pretty much the same thing. They're a little different, and you can tell, but fear exists to protect us from now. Fear exists to protect you what's currently happening. You're not really fearful of something in the future, though you are. Fear and anxiety are the same thing. Anxiety is fear, right? It's fear of the future. But fear is, I should probably look at, I don't know, I'm not reading the definitions, I'm just going off what I learned, right? If you look up the definition, I'm sure you get a better understanding, but they're both pretty much the same thing. We're not going to let the world's definitions trip us up. So, fear exists to protect us from what's currently in our view, in our life currently. If I walk to the edge of if I stand on the edge of the seat, there's water over here. You can't see it, but if I stand on that, I will get fearful that I may fall. If I think about it, I get anxious of going up there. I don't get up there and get anxious. I mean, I could, fear of the future, but that's why I say fear and anxiety are pretty much the same thing. But there's good and bad. So what separates the good and the bad anxiety and the good and the bad fear, right? Good fear actually protects you. You have a good reason for it. Bad fear is fearful of something that doesn't make sense or doesn't benefit you to be fearful of, right? Let's just say you have a fear of ducks. Or let's not even use a duck, because ducks can be dangerous. You feel me? They be quacking. They be snapping. Let me stop. But let's just say you got a fear of, what's a good example? Let's just say you got a phobia of water, right? And we know people that actually have that. It's pretty bad. It sucks that even exists, right? But let's just say you have a fear of water. That is a bad fear. That is a bad anxiety. Nothing about that benefits you whatsoever. Actually, it hurts you. It tears you down. And that's what bad fears and bad anxieties do, is they tear you down. This one particularly from the inside out, right? You need water to survive. You need water to live. And if you're scared of water, if you have a phobia of water, if your body can't take water, you die. So this fear literally kills you. Now, it's crazy, bro. We know Jesus is the water of life, the living water, right? So if we're scared of that water, bro, we die. Just keeping it above. And most people, when they hear Jesus, they run. You want to know why? Because they're running from who they're called to be. They're running from the things they have to let go of, but they're not looking at all the things they have to accept. They're not looking at all the things that they're meant to walk into and to enjoy in life, to enjoy life without the chains that they don't even know they're in because they think it's good. And I used to be there, bro. But let's keep going. So There's good fear, there's bad fears. The good fear is, let's just say, I fear, like I said earlier, stepping up here that I might fall in the water. And I'm in Florida, y'all, so it might be a crocodile in there. I don't know. I ain't been seeing them, but I keep seeing them all over the place on TikTok. So I'm gonna keep my distance, right? So anyway, I got a fear of going up there and falling off. That's a reasonable fear, because if I get up there and I fall off, I'm dead. It's protecting me from death, right? There's a difference. There's one fear that's bringing me to death, that is causing me to die, and there's another fear that's keeping me from dying, right? You see what I'm getting at, right? So sometimes we have fear, we have anxieties that hinder our growth, that hinder life in our life, right? And they bring death to our life. They bring non-conducive circumstances. They bring situations and circumstances that don't benefit us at all. They actually tear us down. Let's just say I have a fear of talking to people. That's one thing I still struggle with sometimes. I'll randomly get anxiety about talking to someone, and I'm like, why do I have this? It's not meant to be there. There's nothing to be afraid of. The worst thing I could possibly do is trip up my words and they don't like me. Why do I care what someone else thinks? God made me, so why am I stressing? He knows exactly what I'm capable of. He knows my mistakes. He knows what's good. I'm only trying to be cool with him. We cool, you know? And it's no need for me to stress about what someone else thinks. My Heavenly Father loves me, bro. I don't care if you love me. I mean, your love would be nice. I love you. You feel me? But what I look like, I'm not simping over you. Come on now. So, there's good anxieties, there's bad anxieties, and we gotta be able to distinguish them in the moment. When you get in a circumstance or situation where you feel fearful or anxious, think about why. Why do I feel this? You know what I'm saying? If you're at the edge of a cliff, you better be glad you feel that. Because if not, you can fall off the cliff, no problem, right? So that's another thing I want to talk about. With anxiety and fear, you can have too little, the normal amount, or you can have too much. So, too little, normal amount, too much. What happens if you got too little fear? You over here doing what them parkour dudes be doing, you jumping off mountains and jumping around buildings and stuff, and one day you slip and fall, bust your butthole into a million pieces, and it was all because you didn't have no fear, right? Zero fear. And on the right side, you got too much fear. You don't even want to step in the building because you scared somehow you're going to get to the top and fall off, right? That's too much fear. That is too much fear. So what we got? We got in the middle. You can walk in the building. You can go up the elevator. You can even go on the roof, right? You get to the edge. You look over the edge and you go, it's a nice edge. I ain't gonna go up there though. Let me take my butt back downstairs and go sit in the car. But first, let me take a couple pictures of this view. You feel me? That's the normal fear. We gonna have that. We gonna be normal. And it's the same way with God, right? It's the same way with God. You fear God enough to bring you to him. You get to God because what? The beginning of wisdom is the knowledge of God. The knowledge of God is the beginning of wisdom. So you know God. You fear him because of what he can do. But perfect love casts out all fear. So the more you grow closer to God, the more you get to know him, the more you start to realize that you don't have anything to fear. He's not going to take you to hell because you love him. You're doing his commandments. You're showing him you love him, right? And because of that, you no longer fear that. The only thing you fear is being away from him. Because away from life is death. If you don't want life, if you don't want truth, you want death and you want deception. There's life and there's the opposite of life. There's anything but life. Sorry, I keep looking over here because I'm trying to make sure my car don't get towed. This is a random park and I don't even know if I'm supposed to be here. But, I mean, it's a public park though, so we chilling, hopefully. I just got to make sure if I hear loud noises, I'm looking that way. But perfect love casts out all fear. So by trusting in God, by putting your faith in him, your fear goes bye-bye. You fear being away from him, so you stay close. You like being close. That's your comfort zone. In God. You feel me? So, if it's not beneficial towards your destiny and where God is taking you in life, man, throw that fear out the window. Examine yourself. Be self-aware. Be self-aware. We want to be able to manage our emotions. You know, we can't have self-control. We can't have the fruits of the Spirit if we can't examine ourselves and see our own emotions. How do I know if I'm loving if I can't even see if I'm loving? You know what I'm saying? How do I know if I have patience if I'm not looking at how I treat and how I move? Right? So I hope y'all got something from this video. Hope y'all learned a little bit more about yourself. A little bit more about how to range your anxieties and your fears, right? And hopefully you can conquer your fears soon. Hopefully within the next, don't think it's gonna happen overnight. You're not perfect, right? You're not perfect. None of us are. But I hope this video launched you toward that perfection. So I love y'all. Hope you have a blessed day, a blessed morning, evening, whenever, however, whatever you tuning in from, right? All right, I'll see y'all later. I'm out.